Hey everybody, it's Dana with CoachDanaInspires.com, and we are here today with business inspiration. And we have a fantastic guest today, and that is Jill Lublin, and she is with Promising Promotions. And we are so excited to have Jill here today. We are going to be talking about the profit of kindness. Hello, I love this woman, and you will too. So let's get started there. Jill, how are you? How's the family? What's happening?
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad to be here with you. And my family is doing great. I thank God for that. And it is a beautiful day. So, it's a good moment, if you know what I'm saying.
I do know. And if we're going to be talking about kindness, we can't do any better than that. This is our thing, and we love it. Your business colleagues, your customers, people that you're out there talking to in the biz, now that we've been in COVID for over a year, we've been locked down, we've been let go, now we're being locked down again, things are happening. What are you hearing from the people you deal with? Are they positive? Are they optimistic? Cautious? What do you hear?
I hear a mix, right? And here's what I've learned, because part of kindness is being flexible, being compassionate. And guess what? There are times when I get on with a client and they're in a state, I'll call it a tizzy, and that is not the best time to do some publicity coaching, right? So I just say, listen, why don't we reschedule this for another day? What I find is based on what's going on, we have to be incredibly flexible right now.
Yeah.
And that is a big key. So flexibility is the word of the day, my friends. Be flexible with all and compassionate for whatever they're going through.
Right. And I love that, because you might be feeling great, but if your client's not in a good space, you're not getting anywhere and you're not helping them. So I think that's really great advice, Jill. Thank you so much. And I really want our viewers to hear that, and that sometimes, we're so on a schedule, but we've got to give grace and kindness out there. So thank you, Jill, for bringing that up. It's perfect, spot on. So as entrepreneurs, business people, our viewers are watching this, and what can we do right now in the midst of all this uncertainty? What can we do right now to really step forward and make our businesses make an impact and really pop?
So, being a publicity expert, I'm going to share with you, it's big to focus and important to focus on your message, but focus on it based on what works for right now. Like, I have a psychologist I work with. Well, when Simone Biles said, hey, I can't compete, I said, let's go. That's what we're going to talk about. So pay attention to what's going on in the news right now and how can you fit in? That's a really good query to ask yourself. And if you can't quite fit in, great, work on your message and then plant your seeds so that your beautiful publicity garden keeps growing in different times. And that would be a great focus.
I like that. Thank you so much for that. I think I think so much, especially right now, so many of us get off track because we get too in the weeds. And I like you use the analogy of a garden, publicity garden, and let's focus on, the flowers and get out of those weeds. I like it. This is so good. Okay, woo. So how can kindness help our viewers? How can kindness help our viewers to stay ahead of the competition? That sounds counterintuitive. Kindness, that means being stepped on, being a doormat. We need to be out there, be aggressive. So kindness? Come on, Jill, help us out.
Yes, great news for all of you. Kindness is going to put you ahead of anyone else. Why? Because you're compassionate, you're flexible, you're great to work with. And we found when I wrote The Profit of Kindness that any company that was focused on that, whether you're a small company, a single solo entrepreneur, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that with kindness, you are, and I guarantee it because I interviewed a lot of people, more profitable, happier, more fulfilled. And the people around you, if you have team or whoever you're working with, guess what? They tend to be happier too. So consistently profits were higher with kind companies. And again, that can be a one-person operation. So that's how you're going to stand forward. You're going to stand ahead. People will know that, recognize it, and appreciate it. Like I think I was sharing with you earlier the other day, when a client gets on and she's in a tizzy, I'm like, you know what, we can't do this. She said, I know, but you say your sessions need to be, firmly put in. Yeah, right. That's right. Because I have policies in place, and 80% of the time they work, and 20% of the time we need to be flexible and compassionate, and frankly, not follow the rules. So I think that's an important key.
Right. And if they're your rules, and you know that your client's not going to get anything out of it today, I think it's the kindest thing you can do is to release them from that, for that moment, and come back in a better space. Last week I had this interview with Billy Archiment, and he's all about respect and respecting others, which goes hand in hand with this kindness, and how respectful, kind companies are more profitable. And I love this theme that I seem to be on lately, is the kindness really does make a difference. And it's not just people being kind to their clients, but also if you do have employees, that kindness helps with dealing with your employees too. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Again, what needs to be said. I mean, listen, my assistant, it was actually her uncle, passed away on a Sunday. And she texted me on Monday. She said, I'm not going to be very good today. Just want you to know I'm not going to be much online. Well, yeah, I had to adjust quickly. It's a Monday, right?
Yeah.
And we usually have staff meetings on Monday. And so we didn't. So we had it on Tuesdays. Again, the world is not usually going to shatter. Things that are important will get done. People can be shifted around. I mean, that's been the biggest thing I've noticed in COVID, is a lot of, I'll call it shifting of the schedules. I don't know if you've noticed that, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
A lot. And part of it is that I think we're all giving each other a lot more grace, which is a beautiful thing. The world needed more grace. And, one of the things I'm really big on is practice a conscious act of kindness every single day. And when you do that, you will notice your life change. And I'll tell you, if I get to the bed at night and I haven't done my conscious act of kindness, and you know what it is. It can be a smile. It can be hold open the door. It can be sending a card. It can, whatever it is, right? A nice note, a note on Facebook, on LinkedIn, whatever it is. It can be business. It can be personal. And I will then, send a quick text, or at that moment, send an email, or whatever it is, right? So when you practice that, it's going to make a big difference.
Absolutely. I love that. I think it's such great advice. So those, there may be entrepreneurs, you may be all by yourself in your little office doing your thing with your clients. And that's kind of easy to be kind to your clients. But if you're out there and you're running a department or a business, take note, being kind to your employees and giving them that little bit of, during this stressful time. I have a friend that her mother was in hospice, and she was at work, and she got a call from the nurse saying, I think you need to come. And as she was walking out the door, the CEO says, you can be replaced.
Seriously.
I mean, yeah. And I just said, I'm gonna, what do you say to that? Don't do that. don't be like that CEO. Okay. So how do we increase our field of influence using kindness?
Well, here's the thing. It does happen somewhat automatically, because people will remember you, and they go, oh yeah, Dana helped me out on many different occasions, sent me a great lead. I mean, people remember that,
Yeah.
People remember the fact that you're warm-hearted, and even just coming in with that kind of energy, I think makes a big difference. Like the energy of enthusiasm. How can I help? What do you need next? These are good questions to ask. I love asking, what do you need next? How can I help you?
Right.
And, sometimes, funny enough, people don't know. So one thing I want to say to all of you is, make sure you have an answer. How can people help you? Get clear on that. And that, by the way, is also how you expand your sphere of influence, because you're specific about what you need.
That's excellent. That is so, I don't think I've ever thought of it like that. That is so good. Yeah. So we need to be clear what we need. So if someone asks us, but also that we can ask others. And I think sometimes when I find out that someone needed something and they didn't ask me to, I could have helped them with that. And it's like, all you had to do was call, just, do you have your assistant right there? Is this an
Yes,
assistant
this is
I
my
see?
assistant, Soul.
Yes.
He's 19 years old and he's blind, but he's very precious.
Oh, he's beautiful too. Wow. I'd keep that little assistant around. That's cute. Sometimes it's a little interrupting, but I like it. That's okay. Sometimes you need that little bit of time. Super. And I think back to being asked, I think when we ask others, how can I help you? We may not have all the answers. We may not be able to do what they're needing, but it's a-okay to say, let me ask somebody. I think I know a guy, as someone we know, Henry DeVries, says all the time, I know a guy. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what a difference that makes. And again, the reaching out. Listen, yesterday I got someone 3 referrals. Now I'm going to tell you, it took me probably 15 to 20 minutes to write the emails, to put that together. Honestly, add that up over multiple referrals, it's a lot. But here's what I know. It just comes back in spades. And one of the things that I've gotten better at, and I just encourage people to do, is when someone says, whatever they need, what I do, I'm serious. In the middle of a conversation, I will be getting my phone out and sending those intro emails. And I think that makes a big difference, to just quickly, put yourself in action mode and make the intros. It's just a lot better than later. And I don't know about you, but later it's like, how it is. We forget things add up. So that's just something that I've noticed makes a huge difference.
Right. And the people that you're referring them to, they appreciate it. But these people are going, well, Jill really helped me. The next time I hear of someone, I'm going to send them to Jill. I mean, if we all work together, is this not true, Jill? If we all work together, helping each other out and being kind, what a wonderful place this would be.
Well, absolutely. And the truth is, I think COVID and all this has taught us much more about collaboration, about connection, about supporting each other. No kidding. And I think it's really important that we do this, that we help support what does each other need. And in that, we all get things accomplished. We get what we want, and we're giving, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I agree, Jill. Thank you so much for that. So how do we, is there a specific way, how do we change or step into communicating in a kinder way?
Yeah, it takes focus, right? And for some more than others. So one of the things, I have these return on kindness principles, because everyone wants ROI, return on investment. And I think that if you get return on kindness, you're going to see your ROI accelerate and elevate. And so one of the ROI, for example, is patience. Now, come on, I'm sure we all notice, like, I love when I'm on the phone for an hour with the utility company, they come on and they thank me for my patience. And I'm thinking, who said I was patient?
Yeah. That's true.
Saying, right? Or, so here's the thing. When you are certain, I'll call it certain traits, like compassionate, like flexible, like understanding, right? Patient. Guess what happens? Again, people remember that. And what happens is they will think of you. Who's the vendor they want to work with? It's you. People are making decisions based on, do they like to work with you? Are you a wonderful giving, serving person that will help them? And, again, if it can be in baby steps. And I understand, you got a business to run, and so do I, and so does everyone. That's why we have rules and boundaries, which, by the way, are also kind, so that people know what's okay. I think having a boundary, having a contract, having if you miss a session, you will be charged, right? It's completely fair.
Yeah.
And then there's always exceptions, and that's also appropriate. Not every time, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I think it's good to have rules and boundaries, and that way people know where they can play, including, no-show fees. Like in my publicity crash course, I've got a no-show fee. Guess what? People show up. It's only $50, but people show up because they don't want to pay it.
Yes. Well, and I think, and as you said, having the rules and putting it out there first, that's actually an act of kindness. So that somewhere down the road, okay, Guy, Jill, I kind of don't feel like coming in today. I kind of feel down. Well, I certainly understand, and there will be a no-show fee. Well, I mean, I can fit it in. Wait a minute, I knew that. Instead of being shocked later, going, I was unaware of that. Well, it's right there. Oh, I didn't read.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. And now you wrote a book about. Now you wrote several books, but there's a little book right over the shoulder there called "The Profit of Kindness." Now we can go to your website and pick up that book. That is a really it's got so many good little treasures, great nuggets on what each of us can do. And we would want to go to your website, and that is JillLublin.com, and I'll be posting that in just a second. So there's this great book. Is there anything specific in that book, one little nugget you want to toss out at us?
So I definitely want to remind you about a conscious act of kindness. And I think that's a real key. And then I want to encourage you to read the 7 traits of the profit of being kind, right? And how that gets you return on kindness principles. So another one, for example, and I've mentioned a few already, another one is generosity. How can you be more generous? And develop a policy. Like in my business and my virtual publicity course, guess what? Every single time there's a nonprofit that I gift a seat to. And by the way, sometimes that costs me money and time to find one because, like everything, right? Or when I used to do this course live, now it's only virtual, but, we go to cities and I didn't know anyone in that city. So that is my business policy, that there is a guested nonprofit every single time. What's your nonprofit give back? As an example. And
Right.
generosity. And I do think in business, we must practice it. I have a tithing payment plan in place, right? I give, like I said, the seat in the course, like what's your give back? And ask yourself that, because that will force an answer. And I want you to have one. And that's an act of kindness.
I that is so impactful. Whoa. Whoa, thank you. And I had not thought about gifting a nonprofit. So guys and gals out there, listen to this. This is what a great idea that is. And I've heard about, somebody that I know really, really well, she has gifted me coming to her conference. And what a fabulous gift. And and I'm like, I will be there. Do you want me at the registration table? Do you want me handing out flyers? What do you want me to do, to help out? Because being gifted that was such an act of kindness. It truly was. And I'm grateful for that. So everybody out there, think about how can we gift to a nonprofit? So you have this crash course. You mentioned it. Tell me a little bit about this crash course, so our viewers can be aware of what are you doing there.
Beautiful. Well, it's a virtual publicity crash course, which is live and interactive with me. So we get publicity done, like no nonsense, no kidding. It's based on my book, Guerrilla Publicity, and filled with easy, simple things to do that will get you immediate publicity. I'm a, bottom line, no nonsense kind of girl. So it is get it done. And we do get 3 documents done in the course. That's why people love it. Yeah. It's interactive. It's get it done.
So is it several days or just
one day, in, out, focused, and simple.
Wow. Okay, great. Okay. So crash course. So we are going to, I'll show you some information, guys and gals. We are close to the end. I cannot believe this, Jill. Whoa, 25 minutes. Slides by. So let me get this going here. So if all you folks out there, Jill Lublin, support at jilllublin.com if you want to reach out to Jill. Her website is www.jilllublin.com, and that's where you want to go for her book. All of her books are there, but certainly The Profit of Kindness is there as well. Now, this crash course that she's talking about is this free, Jill?
No, but when you go get my free gift, it'll take you to there is a free publicity masterclass.
Oh, okay.
And it will take you right there, and you can sign up for that.
Okay, so this publicity crash course, I think, sounds pretty doggone great. So we definitely want to take advantage of that. You go in, take a look at it, find out. Look at this, publicitycrashcourse.com/free gift. So we want to look at that crash course that she's giving. We want to grab this free gift and get some great use out of what she's done for us. I mean, what a kindness this is. And jilllublin.com. Go there, publicitycrashcourse.com/free gift. Look into this crash course. Because I'm going to, that is for sure. Do we have a date on that, Jill?
Yes, I have several dates coming right up, and it'll be listed right there.
Okay, great. I'm going to go there and take a look, and I hope I see some of our viewers there. That'll be a lot of fun to have a nice little happy community there. So, Jill, our time is about done. Do you have any last nuggets you want to toss out there for us that we want to walk away with? Anything that you want to hit a home run with? Or
well, a couple things. Number one, publicity is easy and simple, and you just take some baby steps, right? So I'm really big on take some baby steps. And guess what? Kindness is the same. When you go out today, give someone a smile, even if it's through a mask, they'll see it in your eyes.
Yeah.
And, open the door for someone, grab someone's packages to help them out. Look to see, practice that conscious act of kindness. And I know you will find it everywhere you go. And the other thing I want to remind you of is that your message matters. It's time to get it out there.
Absolutely. Jill, thank you so much. So everybody, this is Jill's information. Be sure you reach out to Jill. Be sure you check on this publicity crash course. I think it sounds fabulous. You're going to get 3 documents, and this happens in one day. Where do you get this? Does not happen with everybody. So get this information. By the way, this is my information down below. Dana Morgan Barnes at CoachDanaInspires.com. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I coach women entrepreneurs. So if you have any questions about that, there I am. In the meantime, Jill, thank you so much. Fast and furious, we did it. And we could have been talking for another hour about kindness and profit and business and people. Have a great day, Jill. And thank you so much for being here. I am so excited about this.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week on Business Inspiration.